So let's talk about Airbnb. One of the things that I think is really interesting to set this up is that existing products did exist, right? Airbnb did not come up with this idea. So what were you using before Airbnb to Airbnb, Dalton?
Yeah, for context, I think if you've only seen Airbnb, you think they came up with the idea. That's probably if I talk to my mom, she'd say, "Oh, Airbnb is a great idea that those founders dreamed up." But back in the day, I was already using VRBO before Airbnb was even funded by YC or existed. There was also a very popular startup called Couchsurfing, which was quite similar to Airbnb, and it had a lot of mindshare, it was a big network, and so it kind of felt like the third-rate entrant to a crowded space at the time. I remember when they were in YC, that was my perspective. Do you remember that, Michael? Had you used any of those? Because I'd used VRBO personally, and I thought it was
I had used VRBO. I had also used Couchsurfing. One of the reasons why I was actually excited about working with the Airbnb folks was because using Couchsurfing was so painful. And so I think that, first thing when it comes to timing, I think they nail this hardcore. They weren't first, but the existing products weren't great. And I think it's interesting to talk about why the existing products weren't great, because honestly, that's important. I would argue that there were two fundamental facts that made the existing products not good. The first is that VRBO and Craigslist did not facilitate payments. So when you arranged a house share with someone or staying in someone's apartment, you still had to pay them either in cash or check or wire. And there was a lot of friction because it's two people who don't know each other having to trust each other to transmit payments. I think the second problem that VRBO had was they charge hosts to list. And if you think about the core insight of this market, it's that hosts are the game. If you can get the most hosts, you win. You have the best inventory. But if you charge them upfront to be on your site, you're probably doing it wrong.